I'm Jimmy,
I'm Jake,
and
and we've
we've
got
got issues.
issues.
Episode four and a
Four
half.
and a half?
And a half. I don't know. I felt like saying that.
Alright.
Ah,
So we're reading Batman number 4. What's the title of this one?
it's Face the Court.
Face the Court, Part 1, I believe.
Here, you can navigate.
No, you can do it.
Okay. You said I gotta roll my finger around here.
Yeah. You gotta click on it.
There we go.
Yeah.
So we got the. What do you think of this first cover here? The cover that. This cover with the
The Capullo
Talon.
cover.
Yeah, the Capullo cover.
Pretty awesome, very stylistic. You got the Gotham City skyline at the bottom in red, and then the Talon's cowl with Batman in profile and his
His
reflected
vision.
in his glasses.
And then there's also an alternate cover with who did this one?
Choi.
Who the heck is Choi?
You know, I'm not really. I've seen some of his work before, and I'm not. It's a style that I'm not a big fan of.
Yeah,
It,
it's
it
too
looks
yellow.
good, but I'm just not a big.
I think it's
fan.
too yellow.
Yeah.
I mean, then you got the black and white covers,
Yeah, it's for collectors.
which I'm always a fan of.
You prefer black and white?
I prefer some covers with the black and white, like I think it was a few issues ago. Uh, which one was it? It was the one with the train in it.
Mm-hmm.
Was that the last issue we were doing?
Does the issue before last, maybe?
Maybe. Yeah. Okay, so here we are on page 1.
Yep.
What do you think about this page?
So, what we've got is a continuation from the last issue where Batman had hit a tripwire when he was investigating the Talon's hideouts around Gotham City and ended up causing an explosion.
Oh,
There you go.
there
Yeah,
we go.
you skipped the issue.
I did. Here we go. Now we're back on track. So Batman tripped the tripwire that the Talon that we could assume had set, which
Yeah, a little sloppy for Batman.
it really
but,
is.
He seems to recover quickly, and he starts running towards the outside of the building as soon as possible, as soon as the explosion goes off.
I like what Batman said here. Is I don't know if this is after the explosion or before. He says most people assume the danger in a tripwire lies in the blast, and then on page 2, he mentioned it's more so used as a tool of fear.
Yeah, I mean the blast can't help anything, but
Right.
I can see his reasoning behind it. It's like he's saying there, it gives the impression that the enemy knows where you are and they're all around. It made me briefly think, what if Batman had taken a different route and gone, like, military?
Right.
I think he'd make a pretty good soldier.
Yeah, I think he would. I think if he had gone the military route, he might end up like Frank Castle.
Possibly.
Yeah, or AKA the Punisher
Or Batfleck.
or Batfleck.
Just give no
Yeah.
shits about killing people.
Yeah. I forgot about that and I would like to forget it again. I don't like Darebat, okay?
I like the movie. It's just I don't like Batman to kill. But,
Did he kill in that movie? Who did he kill?
dude, he's got body bags for days. He kills tons of people.
I know that
There's one scene where he stabs a dude in the chest with a knife.
well, I've only seen it once, okay? I've only seen the Justice League once.
I'm thinking Batman, Superman.
Oh, okay.
But, yeah, I've only seen Justice League once as well, so I don't remember if he kills anybody in that, but I'm going to assume yes.
Oh, Batman v Superman. Oh, yeah, that one. I remember he had a dream state where he turned military. And
Yeah,
that
they
one,
were trying to set up a bigger universe than.
but then it was a dream the whole time.
Although I just recently saw a commercial for Wonder Woman 84.
Yeah, I haven't seen the ad for that. But I have seen the ad for the new Ghostbusters, though.
Oh, not interested.
You haven't seen the new Ghostbusters advertisement, have you?
I've seen people talking about it.
It looks fantastic. Anyways, on to page 3 here. Alright. What did I write down for page 3?
So he's
yeah.
still escaping the explosion, and he's running through the Talon's hideout,
Mm-hmm.
and he sees through the haze a Talon's uniform, and then I think what's implied is that he thinks the Talon is there, and
Right.
he goes to attack him, but it's just its uniform.
Oh. I would not. I didn't. I don't remember that, but now I do.
Well, it's right there
Mm-hmm.
in the middle.
I took it as the blast kind of threw him through it. Threw him through the glass tube containing Talon's uniform.
I don't know. The middle panel makes it look like Batman's punching with the blades on the side of his gauntlet more than being hurled through by an explosion.
Yeah. And he's actually running in the first one.
Yeah.
So, did it actually knock him down? Did this blast knock him down?
I don't think so. I think he'd be dead if he was knocked down.
He also mentions that, Batman mentions that the court uses old Wayne buildings dating to the 19th century to hide in, which we kind of figured that one out last issue.
We saw that in the last issue as he was visiting all the different Talon hideouts.
Yeah.
What do you think of his laser pointer?
Well, his laser pointer?
Yeah, he uses it to burn a hole in the wall so they can jump out.
Interesting. Interesting for sure.
Kind of reminds me of Iron Man's little laser beams on his gauntlets that he uses.
Yeah, but this one's smaller, so I don't know. Which one's more powerful, Iron Man's or Batman's?
Probably Iron Man's.
Yeah.
Batman's, it doesn't look like it burns all the way through. And I don't think he'd want it to, because who knows what kind of collateral damage he could cause. Like, remember in Batman Superman where he's flashing back to the battle between Zod and Superman, and he sees the eye lasers going off, and they just cut through all the buildings, and it's clear that Superman and Zod are not even considering the collateral damage and all the people that they're killing with their little fight.
Oh.
Which is something Batman would always have in the back of his mind.
Not very heroic.
No.
I mean, I guess he's kind of ignoring collateral in these panels down here because this lair we're led to believe is
13th floor.
Is in the 13th floor of this newer building here, and he just kind of explodes the tripwire explodes one whole floor.
Well, it's not like Batman doesn't have superpowers, so it's not like he can catch the rubble that's falling off the building. All he can do at this point is try and survive the blast.
For sure.
Which is difficult, because as he shoots his grapnel gun, as he jumps through the building, it attaches to a piece of the wall, and then we see in the next couple panels that the portion of the wall that it's attached to is knocked off of the building. And the last panel we see is Batman falling.
Yeah, he falls all the time.
Of course, we just assume that he makes it just fine because
and the next panel,
obviously he's Batman. Yeah, and in the next page it's
because I'm Batman
in the Batcave.
I mean, kind of reminds. So I just had a random thought: the Lego Batman. You know, how can you do insert impossible task here? And the Lego Batman would reply, "Because I'm Batman."
Good reason,
right?
I never saw that movie.
Oh, wait, no, I'm thinking more of the how it should have ended shows.
Oh, yeah, I've seen those.
Don't say it, because of Batman.
Yeah.
So now we're into the, we open with Dick Grayson talking to, I think, Bruce Wayne now.
No, we open on this next scene with Dick. He's talking to Alfred about how beat up Bruce has been getting lately. And Alfred says that he administered a sedative to him to rest. And Dick is like, that's enough to knock down, and we're assuming he's going to say like a horse or an elephant or something.
Donna,
But then Alfred says,
I am aware of the effects, Master Richard.
right. So it seems like if anyone wants to get Bruce to take some time off, they have to severely sedate him.
How do I turn it off?
Just click.
There we go. Damn it.
Just one little pull. If you pull it all the way back, it's a double click. Okay, you gotta get off the menu there.
There we go.
Use the touchpad to navigate.
There.
you
Okay. Figuring it out. So I kind of just skipped an entire panel here. There we go. Or page, excuse me.
Right.
So,
After Dick is done talking to Alfred, he goes to check on Bruce and sees that the hospital bed that he should be resting in is empty.
yeah.
And Dick remarks, as it should be.
Mm-hmm. Stop it, Jimmy. I got this. There we go. So, I think he mentions something. No, that's the next panel.
Okay.
So I think we've covered everything here.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. And
You
now
don't have to click anything to go to the next page. You just
No.
have to scroll.
I know.
Okay.
So we have Bruce Wayne here, bandaged up from his fall.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He's asking to analyze the residue on.
Well, we saw in the last issue that he had told Alfred to unearth the tomb
Alan Wayne's bones.
of Alan Wayne, right?
Yes.
He wanted to investigate the murder of, or rather, the death of Alan Wayne. It was assumed that he died by falling into the sewer open manhole cover that we saw in the first part of the last issue. But then he was given reason to believe that perhaps it was something else.
Yep, for sure. And I think they explain that later in this issue here.
Mm-hmm.
So there's not much there. Oh yeah, Dick does mention, you're going to introduce me to your friend, or is this just going to be awkward?
Yeah, Dick always has those quips.
Yeah.
He's one of those types of superheroes, like
Like,
Spider-Man or
yeah,
he's a real quippy guy. I guess
I'd say
Deadpool, but his
Animal Man.
quips are more like non sequiturs. Animal Man.
I'd say Animal Man, but I'm going by some shorts that were on Cartoon Network a long time ago.
Yeah, definitely not Animal Man at all.
But the Animal Man.
Animal Man comics are more like Cthulhu comics. They're like,
Really?
oh yeah, they're
Are they
dark
are
and
they
they've
that
got
weird?
ancient gods and stuff like that.
Okay. I'll have to check that out.
Yeah, it's awesome. That and Swamp Thing.
I can see Swamp Thing. Yeah. Yeah. In the DC shorts, I don't know if anyone listening knows what I'm talking about. Just Animal Man was made out to be a completely stupid superhero. But apparently that's not the case with the comics.
Well, the comics, yeah, he kind of milks his superpowers for, fame and accolades and stuff. but
Mhm.
at the beginning of the New 52, it's kind of at the end of his career. He's got a family and stuff.
Oh, so it kind of goes on afterwards.
Yeah.
Anyways, so next panel, what page is this? I don't know what page number this is, so I don't know what.
Well, we're still with Bruce and Dick, and they're going over the bones of Alan Wayne.
Yes.
And they're and Dick is trying to convince Bruce that he's not going too far with it necessarily, but he's becoming obsessed about it.
Yeah, Bruce Wayne is still not convinced that the court's real.
Yeah, but even we as viewers have reason to be a little worried because of what we saw with Alan Wayne and how he became so obsessed with the Court of Owls
For sure.
towards the end of his life.
Yeah. So Dick mentions that he met with Commissioner Gordon.
Mm-hmm.
I can't think of anything to say there. So
Well, he's just talking about how Bruce was curious about the bases and how,
Mhm.
he's like, how could this happen under my nose this whole time?
Mhm.
And they went to investigate, and it looked like the bases are they're legitimately built when they appear to have been built. And Bruce is so in denial. He says, we'd even know that carbon dating can be falsified or inaccurate. And Dick is kind of just trying to convince him, you're not seeing the forest for the trees. Why are you so in denial about this?
Right. He just doesn't want it. I think he just doesn't want it to be real. I think too many things have happened to him to prove that it exists.
I think, as we see later in this comics, that he does want it to be real, or at least he did when he was a child.
Yes, because
maybe after he discovered through his investigation as a child that it wasn't real, I think perhaps he kind of let go of that, and he doesn't want to have that hope again that maybe his parents weren't killed for no reason at all. Yeah. Which I think is an important part of the Batman mythos, just the fact that his parents were killed in some just random mugging. There's no purpose to it.
In the 1980, I believe it's 88, it's shown that Joker was the one that killed his parents, but before he was the Joker.
Yeah, Jack Napier. But in the comics, it's always been Joe Chill. Just some random thug. Not working for any mysterious organization or anything. Just some random dude.
Well, the New 52 kind of just threw that out the window.
Well,
kind of. Is Joe Chill in the New 52?
Yes.
Okay.
And later on, we see when Batman gets access to the Mobius chair or whatever that gives you all this knowledge, he discovers something about the murder of his parents, but he doesn't reveal it to the reader.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. I remember, actually, I was watching a YouTube video, I don't know how long ago, but in the New 52, they're like, what, Batman, New 52 or, what's it, Rebirth? Rebirth now?
The Rebirth was not, it was more of just it wasn't like the New 52. The New 52 took all the stories and stuff and kind of reimagined them and started over from scratch. Rebirth, really all it did was start numbering the comics again, kind of revitalize some of the characters, but otherwise it didn't change the stories so far.
But I remember one time, I think it was Batman, he wanted to know the identity of the Joker, and the Mobius chair said, "Which Joker?"
Oh, did it?
Yeah.
I
I'm
don't.
not sure if that's New 52 or Rebirth.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, I was like, oh, well, there's more than one Joker. So,
Hmm.
yeah. On to the next page. Carbon dating and such.
Mm-hmm. And here's where Dick is telling Bruce, you gotta go easy. Stop going so hard on this investigation. You're killing yourself. You've almost been killed twice in as many days. You need to take it easy a little bit, recover, get your bearings.
Mm-hmm.
Which is not terrible advice, although at this point he's onto the Talon, and the Talon knows that he's onto him, so it would be a bad time to kind of give him some breathing room.
Yeah. It really would be. I mean, it'd leave Bruce Wayne and Batman vulnerable.
Mm-hmm.
They're both the same person.
But on the next page here, Batman talks to Dick about why he believes so fervently that the Court of Owls doesn't exist. It's because as a child, after his parents were killed, he investigated it.
Yeah, about as a child. Now we're on track. Alright. Now my notes are on track.
Alright, well, what do you got?
For page 10, even though it said 11, but it's page 10. That's what I wrote down. It says Bruce mentions... 9. Page 9, Bruce mentions how he looked into the court as a child after his parents' death.
Yep.
That's all I wrote down for 9.
Yeah, that would be an interesting story to look through, to see child Bruce investigating this, kind of developing his detective skills. And
well, in this issue we do.
well, we see a little bit of it, yeah. I mean,
Yeah, I'd
and
probably...
I guess we get a lot of that in the
Gotham.
TV series Gotham.
Yeah, it's actually... Have you finished Gotham yet, Jake?
I haven't watched it in a long, long time. I think I only saw up to season 3. I'll go back and watch it eventually. I want to pick up the DC streaming app.
Yeah, didn't you have that already, or...?
No, our buddy Ryan has it.
Oh.
But I wanted to get it and go through all those series. Go through Arrow, Supergirl, Flash. I saw a commercial recently that they're doing Crisis on Infinite Earths or something like that, or
Really?
as a crossover event between all of the DC TV shows.
They kind of did that with, what's the time travel show called?
Yeah, the
Legends of Tomorrow.
yeah. But this one's going to take all the current shows like Black Lightning and
Oh, I forgot
Flash,
about that one.
and Supergirl, and all of them, and put them together.
Yeah, I honestly forgot about the Black Lightning show.
Yeah, it's on Netflix. I'm going to have to check that out.
Yeah. So, Bruce mentioned, after Dick mentions that there is, I think he mentioned something about the Court of Owls, Bruce is all like, Dick, there is no Court of Owls because I've looked into it. You know?
Right, and this is when he goes through the montage of him investigating as a child, how he didn't want the murder of his parents to be some random act, how he wanted it to have more... He wanted it to be
justified.
Yeah, he wanted it to have more meaning, and then get revenge on whoever perpetrated it.
Actually, this whole flashback sequence does take up a big chunk of the comic.
I think it's good backstory, though.
It is. So this was page 10. Somewhere, oh yeah. So he mentions about the Court of Owls here. You want to start us off, Jake, on this page?
Yeah, it's going through a montage of Bruce looking into the legends. He's asking around town, and he mentions how in the nursery rhyme that the Talons or the court will send a sign and to be wary of the signs. And he mentions how his father had found an owl's nest in their attic, and how he thought that they were ignoring the signs from the Court of
Yeah.
Owls, and how he takes his revenge on the. I don't know if it's takes his revenge, but he's just pissed off at the idea that somebody would send a message to.
Oh, yeah, he killed it. He killed
Right,
the
so
owl.
he kills the owl.
Yeah. Oh, look, blood. Oh, no. That's not very family friendly. It's a joke.
Yeah, these comics have not been super family friendly so far.
I mean, I'd let my 10-year-old, if I had a kid and he was 10, I'd let him read the comics.
Yeah, I mean, I would too.
Like if he was 10, but not.
But keep in mind, the first issue opens up with a dude
Oh,
nailed
yeah.
to a wall with throwing knives.
Maybe
So-
age 13. No, keep it PG-13, kids. So he vowed. Oh yeah, then he So after he killed the owl, he vowed right then and there. He vowed revenge
Revenge on the Court of Owls that he
Yes.
assumed was real.
at the time,
Mm-hmm.
which we know is real.
Yeah. But his investigative skills as a child were not up
Terrible.
to the task of. I wouldn't say they're terrible.
They were pretty good for.
Not up to the task of exposing the court, though.
How old do you suppose he is? In those flashbacks.
Probably like 10 or 11.
Mm-hmm. He says, "I was just a boy. But I'd find them in the Court of Owls and expose them, and then I'd crush their world as they had mine."
Yep.
So let's see here. What did I write here?
Yeah, we see in the background a map of Gotham City, and then we get little panels popping up of Bruce.
This
Kind of
is.
a-
Sorry,
Kind of
keep going.
pounded pavement around the city investigating. He's got his camera in one scene. He's looking at all the architecture in Gotham, and everything. He starts to become obsessed, and he starts to notice signs of the court everywhere.
I honestly liked this page, just the stylized approach they took to it, with the map of Gotham in the background and the pages, the panels over it.
Mm-hmm.
This is probably my favorite page in the entire comic.
Yep, and we get a little bit of sepia with some film grain on the panels just to give it that flashback feel.
So what I wrote here was, he continues explaining why he investigated the court as a child. Bruce talks about a building where Gotham's prominent families would spend their time at it. It had a crest of 2 owls on it. Bruce describes a windowless room in the upper part of the building.
That's right. He thinks he's got them. He's like, that must be where they are. I'm
Right.
going to go expose them.
But wait. And then we find him. Where's my phone? Let's see here. Oh, he hasn't gone up there yet. Okay. Is there anything you'd like to say it on this
I
page?
think you said it. It shows, again, there's another page with the background of Bruce's notes that he's been taking, and then the panels of him doing research and uncovering the room, the windowless room that you talked about.
Right. Oh, so that note was for this page then, huh? Alright. The next page. We see Bruce going up into this building. And page 13, Bruce only finds dust, and he accidentally locks himself in the room for almost a week. So yeah. Anything you'd like to add, Drake?
Yeah, it just shows him in the house and climbing through and finding where the secret room is and climbing up the bookshelf and then the big reveal that instead of some insidious black
Court.
black hooded society, we see just nothing, no answers, no villains, and how utterly defeated Bruce was at that point.
Yeah, I would feel completely defeated if I was in Bruce's shoes and I actually went to these lakes to look for the Court of Owls.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. How would you feel if you were in Bruce's shoes and you just found dust and a table?
I don't know. Bruce is a weird kid because the moment his parents died is the moment his childhood ends. So at this point, he's not really a child. He's more trying to adjust to this adulthood that he's been thrust into. If I were investigating something like this as a child, I would probably not let it go. I probably wouldn't go about it as logically as he did either, though.
So, Bruce, in the next page, talks to Dick, and he mentions how he let his emotions guide him on his quest to
Well,
find
that was the
Court.
lesson that he learned from that whole ordeal.
Is to never trust your emotions.
Well, not to not trust them, just don't let them lead you
Right.
or guide you, especially on a case.
A lesson some of my friends should learn.
He had some friends ruled by their emotions.
Yeah. Yeah. Especially one of them, but I'm not going to talk about him.
Well, sounds like maybe we should take him to the Vulcan Academy, work on controlling those emotions.
Maybe. That's all I wrote down for this page.
Yeah, he basically talks about he's justifying himself to Dick at this point.
Right. Correct.
And he's saying unequivocally there is no Court of Owls.
Yeah. And, now we're on page 15.
Mm-hmm.
We have Batman, the classic Jim Gordon and Batman meet up here.
Yep. Got a lead.
Gordon has a lead.
Yep.
That's all I've got there.
Yeah. Again, at this point, it kind of makes you think, maybe a cell phone or something for Jim
Right.
instead of the bat signal. He's left standing there waiting for Batman.
You gotta understand, Bruce Wayne, every time he sees this, let's say he's in his pajamas already, and he sees this light go off.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta wonder if he's thinking, crap, here we go again. Now I gotta get my bat suit on.
I don't think he's ever in his pajamas.
I don't know.
I think as soon as he gets home after a night of dealing with crime, he just kind of collapses.
And just falls on his bed.
Yeah.
In his bat suit. I think in the animated series, I'm not entirely sure, don't quote me on this, I think they established like a wireless beeper for Bruce when the bat signal goes off.
That would make sense.
Yeah. A beeper or a phone or something.
Yeah.
It'd be a beeper at the time, I
Something
guess.
other than looking into the sky.
Right. So now we have Bruce investigating the manhole where his grandpa fell down in.
Mm-hmm.
His great.
All right, he mentioned that he found some residue on the bones, some marble and limestone.
Yeah.
Which,
He mentions that Batman goes to the sewer where Alan Wayne had died.
mm-hmm.
He also mentions Alan had multiple stab wounds on his bones, as if being stabbed to death.
Yeah. Well, He's mentioned that he had been down in the sewer for so long that he had to be identified by his teeth. He had been basically decomposed, eaten by rats, whatever.
Did they identify people by their teeth in the 1900s?
Well, you know, I don't know when that started. Because you'd have to have a dentist's record to do that.
For the sake of argument, we'll say he did.
I mean, I think it's just safe to assume. We know that Alan Wayne was last seen by these two cops, that he fell down a manhole cover, and that that they couldn't find him, and then later they find a body in the sewers. And so I think it's a pretty safe bet.
Yeah. Is there anything you'd like to add here?
Yeah, it's a
pretty
pretty common theme we see. Batman investigating. He's in the sewers at this point. Really cool looking panel here with him holding a little glow light, walking through this. You'd think he'd have some sort of like head-mounted light.
They did it for the sake of dramatic effect, I'm guessing.
Probably. It looks really cool.
I do like this. Actually, like, I'd probably get a poster of this too. Also.
Yep.
But instead of a glow light, he'd be holding a batarang.
Mm-hmm.
Alright.
Yeah, and we see him in the sewers, and he's looking through the lenses of his cowl, and he's seeing signs of the limestone and marble dust.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny, we can see him like kind of reach up to touch the signs of this, and we see the
his bones.
Yeah, the vision, the lenses on his cowl, looking through his fingertips. And
That's got to be kind of a trip. The first time around,
looking down and seeing your bones through your skin.
So after we see that, we come to this. What would you call this? A half panel, half spread.
Yeah, something like that.
We see some yellow eyes that are all too familiar here.
Yep.
Looking back at Batman.
Round yellow eyes in the dark, and Batman's distracted investigating this dust that he's found on the wall.
Yep. Then next page, bam! You get the Talon attacking Batman from behind, taking off his utility belt.
Rips his utility belt off and slams his head through
ouch!
Through the brick, through the stonework. And we see Bruce just falling.
Just falling down until the panel just fades to black. And with little...
Yeah, well,
light.
We see the glow stick falling in the darkness, just to give kind of a scope of what the scale is.
Yeah. And then
we see the masked figures of the Court of Owls.
From the pictures we saw.
Yep. And we see this enormous underground labyrinth.
Yeah. Just this labyrinth here is, and these men or women, we don't know what they are. I'd say men.
Well, they're wearing suits.
They're wearing suits. Yeah.
It's a pretty good guess that they're men.
Say, welcome Batman to the labyrinth.
Yep.
And then you see Batman. He's kind of cornered in this maze here.
Well, clearly these guys aren't as smart as they like to think they are, because if there's one place Batman thrives, it's in a death trap.
Right.
I mean, Adam West every week got caught in one at the end of the Batman series, and every beginning of episode he was able to escape.
Right. And that ends this issues.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Alright. I've been Jimmy.
I've been Jake.
And we've still got issues.
We do indeed.